Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I'm doing a little video today. It's a little bit information, and also I'm going to tell you another little bit of a story about my younger days, when I was a child actually. But the little bit information was the video I put up the other day of the wool haul that I bought from Aldi's, where the normal packs were $3.99 and they were selling them for $2.99. And I bought quite a lot, as you know, you remember if you've seen the video. And I couldn't understand why they had reduced the price, because I mean it's so cheap to start with, you know. And then I noticed something after I got them home. This is one of the packs here. I opened the pack up. I'm going to show you why they reduced the price. This is one of the balls, and as you know, it's so crafty, double knit yarn, and this is colours fuchsia. And it's got all the rest of the information: 100 grams, 300 meters, 100% acrylic, wash dark colour separately, keep away from fire, produced in Turkey for Aldi stores. And there's also a pattern, I think it's like a poncho on the inside of the label. Actually, there's been on for quite some time now. Then I noticed something else. All the rest of that is blank. There's no dye lot number or colour number on it. And that's why they've reduced the price, because anybody buying this, if they've got more than one pack, and they open them up, they're not going to know whether the dye lots that they've got are the same if they take them out of the packets. And that was, I didn't know that when I bought it. But put that back in there and fasten it up. But I did when I was buying it. There's a label on the back here. And on that label, there's numbers. It doesn't say dye lot or colour code or anything like that, but there's numbers in each pack I bought 2 packs of most, and I checked these numbers on there when I was picking them up, and they were the same number on the they're a different number on every pack, every colour, but it's the same number. Each colour has the same number on here, so that is equivalent to the dye code, but it's not on the balls of the wool, on the actual labels, and I think that's why they've reduced it in price. So as far as I'm concerned, they can reduce the price every lot. They can leave the dye lot off for me, and as long as they reduce the price every time, I'll be happy. So that was just a little bit of information for if there's anybody else that's buying this, if it's in their stores and they're buying it, that's the reason it's being reduced. They didn't actually say that, anything about why it's being reduced, but I think that's my opinion anyway, why it's being reduced. And so I'm going to tell you another little story about when I was a child. I'm not sure how old I was, but when I was a child, we lived in an upstairs flat. My parents had an upstairs flat, and we shared the backyard. It was a very large backyard, and we lived at the very top of the street. And at the top of the street, there was a road ran along, like across the top of the street. And the family that lived on the first house around the corner from our street, that was the family that I shared the backyard with. Well, this backyard, like I'm saying, it was very large, and we had one corner of it that was sort of sectioned off, and there was grass in it. And I think at one time we used to have I think it was the local ragman's donkey used to be kept in that. I was probably paying my parents something for keeping it in this little place, but me and all the other kids, you know, we used to go in, we used to ride that poor little pony or donkey or whatever it was. We used to ride it bareback around that little grassy area. And the fella that who owned it, you know, we used to always be, we were always getting told off by him. You see, the donkey's supposed to be for pulling the cart, not for you to be riding on. And that's one little bit that the yard was used for. And there was also I'm not sure who it belonged to. It might have been one of my uncles, one of my dad's brothers. But we had this old car in the yard. You know, like the cars in the gangster movies where they had like round the front wheel there was a sloping bit and a bit on the side that you could stand on. And it was in our backyard for a long time. I don't know how long. And all of us kids, you know, we used to all play in this car, and we used to play cops and robbers, and the boys used to have their Tommy guns and standing on the side of the car and shooting all the all the girls and that, chasing us all over the place. Well, like I'm saying, I don't know who it belonged to, but we were always getting told off to get off it because we were getting it in an awful state and that. And it did actually disappear out of the backyard after a while. But this little sectioned off part, this grassy little part, I think after the donkey went, I think my father and might have been one of his brothers, they got chickens and they had a chicken coop in there. Well, there was a lot of chickens, and I suppose he probably used to sell the eggs and things like that. And anyway, there was one day, I'm not sure who actually did this, but I think me and my sister, my younger sister Linda, we were in the, you know, in playing with the little chicks and things in the coop thing. And there was a gate into it, and then our backyard had two double gates. You know, that was how you could drive a car into it. Had two double gates on as well. And like I'm saying, I don't know who did it, but one of us left that gate open from the where the coop where the chickens were, and also left the back gate out into the back lane open as well. Well, all those chickens ended up out of that coop, and they went into the backyard, and then they were all running up and down the back lane, and all the kids in the neighbourhood were chasing them all over the place. And when my dad found out, and he was doing his nut, and anyway, all the kids were enjoying themselves. They were running up and down the back lane trying to catch these chickens. You never seen anything like it. And one little boy says to my dad, he says, what if I get if I catch one? And my dad sees an egg. But it didn't bother them. They were enjoying themselves because they were really hard to catch, these chickens. But anyway, we did manage to get them all. I think we got them all back into the coop thing. And I remember my dad saying, that's the last time yous are going in there. So we got a good telling off. I think I remember getting a good hiding as well. Like, it was probably me. Like, if I got a good hiding, it was probably me that left it open. Like, you know, but when you're kids, you don't think about things like that. And that's the way, in my day, when we were kids, that's the way our parents used to make a little bit extra money. You know, that's where you needed a little bit extra money for. Or you didn't get things in my day. I think even in my young day, I think my mother only got family allowance for the, I don't think she got it for the first child. I should think she only got it for the second one. They didn't get, you know, the same kind of benefits in those days that used to do. But there used to be a little boy lived in the flat downstairs that we shared the backyard with, and my mother was a dressmaker, and my father had an accident at work one time, and he was off work for quite a long time, and my mother was she was going out to work to make a living to keep us. But there was also, she used to make little dresses for any neighbours, friends, anybody in the neighbourhood in the street where we lived. And as me and my younger sister got older, we were too big for us to try these little dresses on she was making. Well, this little boy, Billy they called him, lived in the flat downstairs, and so my mother used to try the dresses on him. We used to come in from school, we used to see this little boy running around the backyard with a little dress on, and we used to be killing myself laughing, but he thought it was great, you know, when he loved trying these little dresses on. I says, I wonder if he ended up gay when he got older. Like, I don't know, but that's the kind of thing my mother and father used to do. Used to make a little bit extra money, and you know, you can always do with a little bit extra money. So anyway, I am sitting here knitting. I've nearly finished the second side. That's the armhole there. And I've been doing a little bit knitting. I've done a little bit shopping this morning. Took my friend up to it was a garden centre place, but they also had food stuff, and they also had wool in that place. But I resisted the temptation. I didn't buy any more because I think I've gotten enough for the way going on with for now, like. Because my friend was saying, oh, look at Sheila, there's lots of wool over here, you know you like wool, but it was all chunky. I probably would have bought some if it hadn't been all chunky. I didn't want chunky. I like the double knitting's the thickest I like to knit with. So I did resist the temptation and I didn't buy any more. I'm going to have to use up some of this what I've got before I buy any more. And so I'm probably going to have to hog tie myself the next time I go some shop where there's a lot of wool and keep away from it. So that's my little bit for today. My little video log to keep up the revenue on my YouTube earnings. I like to put I try to put a little video up every day for just for that reason, to keep up the earnings. Otherwise it goes down and that, because people tend to watch the new videos that you're putting up and you only get an odd one or two watching the older ones. So it's the newer videos that I put up that I make all the earnings on. So that's my little bit for today, and I'm going to make some lunch for myself now and sit down and do a little bit knitting, and I'll probably get this finished and get onto the sleeves. Then I can maybe get onto one of the other orders I've got to do when I finish this one. So if you like my video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll tell you another little story sometime. So bye for now.